You, Damien,
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Tell us where we're at now, Pastor Sonny. Let's get right to it because, I mean, when I'm out doing the news and reporting, you know, the violence is still there.
Yeah, the violence is still there, but right now, because of Firehouse, we're able to go fishing and fish a lot of them out of that and give them an opportunity. It's like when they're in gangs, where's this place I can go to get changed? Now that we have another building that Anthony gave us a building to work out of, we're going to have nighttime workshops, life skills, goal setting, short-term, long-term, realistic. We're going to have a dream room. We're going to have a talk show called The Hot Spot and bring in the ones that have turned it around, coming from the hardcore lifestyle, and have turned it around because of that opportunity. I want to change, but where's that place that I could go that will accept me the way I am and help me transform my life?
And tell us about Anthony. You brought Anthony, and you talk about transformation. This is it right here.
Yeah, Anthony used to be involved in gangs. He was a tag banger. He was going to Foothill continuation school at the time. He was doing hours there, and the principal he got caught doing something he should have been doing. And they talked to him. She said, I can, call the cops and have you arrested, or you can go in there and listen to this man, what he has to say. And Anthony came in and...
What was it, Anthony? What was it that flipped the switch for you and said, I got to get out of this?
I always reminisce on it because it was a very important time for me. I knew I had to change my life. I was just a senior in high school, so I knew the next steps was my career path. And I didn't want to continue that type of lifestyle anymore. I knew where it was going to lead into. I seen a lot of older friends never get out of jail again or get into things that allowed them not to ever or be disprivileged against a lot of things, their freedom. And I didn't want that coming into the system. I didn't want that getting out of high school. I wanted a career that was going to allow me to be successful and put my situation in a position where I can inspire people.
And you're in that position now. Talk about Anthony is a multi-millionaire. Well, tell us about your success story, because the kids and their parents need to hear this.
It's important to know that you could do it at a young age, because I started from a very young age getting into work. I used to work with my mom throwing newspaper at the age of 12, 13, and 14. Just so happened that at that age, I was still, we were still living in a neighborhood that was surrounded with street gangs, drugs, and a lot of things going on at the same time. So being a part of that type of surrounding, you become consumed by that type of violence. You become consumed by that type of activity. And it really put me in a position to start to know not only what goes on in the streets, but what happens when you become young and responsible. So as I got out of high school, I kind of made up my mind and said, you know what, I want to be successful. And I looked for a short career path doing insurance and investments. That's why I caught a license to get into selling for that industry. I got with a brokerage. I did pretty well there. I broke off and started my own company. So I started my first entrepreneur path when I was 18 years old. And that's normally the age where people are still in the university trying to figure out their path. Well, I caught a vision right away, and I knew that I wanted to be successful. And it took the fact that the after-school program led me to be inspired for myself to want to change my situation and to want to be successful. And last year, I launched a company, a fitness products company called Trim Tough Incorporated. Trim Tough today has sold to over 100,000 customers worldwide, and it's allowed us to not only bring in millions of dollars in revenue, but to help other people with their fitness goals today.
Do you trust your Lamborghini out in the NBC Bay Area parking lot?
As long as there's enough.
We have security.
Yeah, as long as there's enough security, obviously, yeah. But it's.
What difference did this man next to you make in helping you mend your ways, if you will?
I was sitting in a classroom setting. I was one of those students that was in the back, kind of just hearing out what's going on. At that time, I was already in trouble, so I had that young mentality. Hey, I'm in trouble. I'm just going to sit in the back. Well, the pastor said, whatever doors you open, no man closes. And that automatically led into me and said, you know what, I kind of already run my own thing. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to do. And that right there, that message just resonated with me. I took it home and I started questioning myself, you know, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to be told what to do? Do I want to follow the good path and be led by great things and inspiration? And if it wasn't for that seed that the pastor planted for me, I wouldn't have had opened up my mind to be more educational, to be more inspirational, to be more self-sustainable in a positive way.
Is that what some of the youth need nowadays? Somebody to either turn up the flame or lower the flame a little bit?
Exactly. When you speak to them, you're planting seed in their mind. And like Anthony said, you got to grab a thought. Something, you don't change just to change. Something has to resonate with you. Something has to click and say, man, if he did it, I could do it. Now, you know, I entered the system at 12, and I thought that was my future.
Right.
I was out. I got off parole when I was 31. I would say, who's going to hire me? You know, I have a pass, I have a record, but I had to dream too and say, no, I had to believe in myself. And you have to believe in yourself. And my wife was she was my anchor, and she still is to this day, helping me, and you need that. You know, everyone gave up on me, you know, but I knew there was life in me. I remember one correctional officer saying, if you don't change your life, the boots you have on, your children will follow you. And I said, oh, heck to the no. Right. You know what I mean? When I seen it, but if I didn't change, most kids follow their parents into those lifestyles.
Well, you're having a fundraiser gala coming up, and if you're interested, Senator Jim Bell will be there, and it's on February 25th, right here in San Jose on Old Oakland Road. Is that correct? All right. We'll be back and talk more about this gala, and maybe how your child, if he's getting in trouble now, how maybe he can one day drive a Lamborghini. Stay with us.
That's right.
We are back here on Comunidad del Valle talking about the gang issue and how to get the kids out of it, if at all possible. Camera 3 is yours, Anthony. Look into that camera and maybe talk to the soul of a teenager, a child out there who is either in it or teetering in it, or might be wanting to get out and just doesn't know how.
You got to find an inspiration. I think most importantly is just finding the things that are inside your heart. You know, I always wanted to help people, and I was at a young age wanting to help people, and I positioned myself to be able to do that. I led a big gang, over 30 people. We sold drugs. We did this. You know, we were up and down the streets, and every time it was the same situation. Somebody came over to me because I had something for them. And what so happened is it was a situation from home. You know, they didn't have enough support, so I provided that type of brotherly love that people wanted, and that's why they wanted to follow me more in a sense. But it's important that you find the things, and education to me was more important than any mark on my body, and I knew that I was going to be able to get further with the things that I know opposed to the things that are on my body, what I'm marked with. So look for things that inspire you. You know, just the most important thing is, you know, finish school, look for your career path, catch something early on. Look for the things that you know are going to be successful, not only for you, but for your family. Think about 5-10 years from now. Is what you're doing, is it going to get you further in life? Is it going to keep you in the same place? Is it going to descend you? And I've always thought 10 steps ahead of everybody. That's what my situation led me to bring on for myself. And I didn't want to be the same age as my other friends without not having anything. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to leave a mark on this planet, and I wanted to make my name history when somebody else talks about it. So I inspire you to do something educational, motivational, something that's going to make you help other people with what you're doing.
You know, I think that one of the big issues is from the kids nowadays is they're thinking, what are my homies going to say if I back out? Is that a big if? I mean, you know.
It's funny because I used to wear a suit at an early age. From the age of 17, I started wearing full-blown suits, 3-piece suits. And for me, it was more of the professionalism and the image that I wanted to cast. And of course, I didn't have the right measurements, so I always had a longer shirt or a longer coat, and nothing was tucked or tailored the right way. So of course, it looked a little funny. But I think overall, you know, being sharp at an early age really led me to know that that I could do this. You know, I didn't care what my friends said, because if I look at it backwards now, and if I think about it, it's because I started wearing the suits from an early age. It's because I started talking different, shaking hands different, started thinking different. Your associations are going to be different. It's because of those things that where I'm at today is not where I used to be. And now I have an open path for the rest of my future because of those decisions that I made for myself.
And you're in a $30 million corporation, is that correct? Or is it a little higher now?
I think it's,
well, the market's been going up and down.
It's going up and up, actually. It's going up and up.
We'll talk about your gala, because it's important it's a fundraiser, so you got to get these programs.
Exactly, and like I said, we have to capture them, give them that place, let them come in the way they are, but don't let them stay the way they are. Remember, whenever you put a thought in someone's head, especially when you're locked up or you're in trouble, my thing is getting the sons and daughters back to the moms and the dads. I always tell them, when's the last time you hugged your mother or gave her a kiss? And I've had mothers calling me crying. At first, I thought I did something wrong. What did you tell my son? I go, what do you mean? He hugged me, gave me a kiss. They go around hugging and kissing all the wrong people. And I tell them, your mother works 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. Your mother works hard just to put food in that refrigerator. Your mother will do, or your father will work to get you a pair of sneakers that are $100 and some, knowing that that's like almost 2 days' wages for some people, just because they love you, but they don't get a chance to see that. They don't value that. And we got to teach them back that. You know what I'm saying?
Is Anthony living proof that your strategy works?
Definitely. And the good thing about it, Anthony, is he didn't forget where he came from.
Right.
He went down the road. He seeked me out and said that God had showed him that he was to help me further what I did. Then he took me to a building that he had on Oakland Road and looked around. And he said, we're not using this one right now. We're over here. Would you like to use this and to do it? So you need to come and see it. And it's set up like classroom setting. We're going to have the talk show called The Hot Spot. We're going to start music in there. I work with guys from Marlo, War, Sly. I've got a lot of them that come to use their name to show them that you can do it. Music is a powerful tool.
And the gala is to raise funds to keep these programs going.
Exactly. We need your support, not just a good old boy or a pat on the back. Your dollars will help us keep going. And when you come, you'll see where it's at. Come, you can call us, and you don't have to tell us who you are. We don't know your name through the phone, but we're here to help your son, your daughter, your neighbor, your cousin, your nephew. I know a lot of people don't want people to know who they are, but they want the help. We are here to help you and to make your family life a better life.
What age, finally, Anthony, what age should we start talking to our kids about where not to go?
You know what, my son's a year and a half. He's going to be 2 in April. And right now, it's the time that I start talking to him about what he should do, what he shouldn't do. The reason being is because it starts from an early age. It starts from building the habits from the moment that they start walking and talking, the things that start feeling. It's important that he sees me doing the things that he should be doing, and it's important that the family supports that, and that's exactly what we have. Start from the earliest age possible. Start from whenever you start seeing that these kids are influenced by the opposite things of right, and start from whenever you get a chance to get an open mind conversation with somebody, because it's never too late to turn it around, and it's never too early to start teaching somebody positive.
Be a good parent. The information again, the gala is coming up on February 25th at Old Oakland Road. You can log on to that web address for more information or call that number. They'd be happy to fill you in on this gala with Senator Jim Bell and, of course, the Firehouse Ministries. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.